Just moments ago, Joe Warren made his way to the Bellator cage.
You see him talking there. He says, I tell myself how bad I am until I believe it. He always comes in that way.
We have now reached this Bellator super fight at the catch weight of 137 pounds. Marcos Galvão versus Joe Warren. Jimmy, our tale of the tape.
You see Marcos Galvão 2 inches taller, but Joe Warren has the 4 1/4 inch reach advantage. He's going to use those long arms to pull Galvão in.
Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 from Cocopah Resort Casino now present the non-title super fight schedule for 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Sponsored by GameStop, where you can find all the hottest video games for every system. Power to the players. And now introducing first, fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", he weighed in at 136 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 9 wins, 3 losses with 1 draw. Originally from Brazil, now fighting out of New York, Marcos Galvão. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'6", weighing in at 136 3/4 pounds. A near perfect professional, 6 victories with a single defeat. From Denver, Colorado, the reigning Bellator featherweight world champion, Joe Warren. And the referee for this contest, Jason Herzog.
This Bellator super fight is non-title, so it is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. It is under the unified rules of MMA, so elbows to the head are allowed, both standing and on the ground. Jason Herzog is the referee. The bell in round number 1. Tonight's Bellator Fight Clock is sponsored by Dylan Dog Dead of Night, in theaters April 29th.
That's the first fight. Joe Warren says, I feel like a mixed martial artist, not just a wrestler. But here he is in the Greco-Roman clinch. Oh, tries to throw, ends up on his back.
Marcos Galvão in the top position, going for the rear naked choke, is in the white trunks. And huge shots! Joe Warren in the black trunks, the champion. In all sorts of trouble right now to start this fight.
Scrambling, now stuck in an armbar, but he's gonna pull out of that. Bad start for Joe Warren.
He never makes it look easy, does he, Jimmy?
He never does. I feel like going, Joe, why don't you ever win a first round? He look awful and always come back. So bad starts are bad starts. That's no surprise for Joe Warren.
This is a fighter who started his pro MMA career in Dream, then went to Bellator. No minor leagues for Joe Warren.
When your second fight is Kid Yamamoto, who I believe was number 1 or number 2 at the time, used to swimming in deep water, but he's up against a Jiu-Jitsu world champion, 2-time world champion. Trains with Novinhão, which is a phenomenal team in Brazil, if you can't tell by that sweep. I trained with them a couple years ago when I was down in Rio, and they're just awesome, an amazing team.
This, again, the first fight for Joe Warren since winning the title. That was September of last year. That second round knockout versus then champion Joe Soto. Warren entering 6-1, 34 years old. Late to MMA, of course. A prolific wrestling career. 2006 Greco-Roman Wrestling World Champion, and he has London 2012 Summer Games in his sights.
You see here, that's where he's so dominant, is that clinch. Once again, going for the throw and winding up on his back. There's Galvão on his back once again. Only 1 hook in, though.
Galvão not impressed by the CV that I just read of Joe Warren. The champion, the pedigree in Greco-Roman wrestling, the aspirations to the Olympics. He's looking for a win in his Bellator debut. Warren trying to turn that. That's a big knee by the Brazilian Galvão. Now Warren holding the standing guillotine.
That's not going to be easy to finish. Joe Warren has a lot of power, but it's really a technique game. And he doesn't have, his submission game isn't that great. It's not that polished. But he's going to crank it for everything it's worth.
Galvão slips out immediately. No real worries. Warren went for a spinning, really belly-to-belly suplex. Couldn't find it. Warren holding the waist cinch. Simultaneous knees. Those canceled each other out.
I rolled with Joe Warren when he was on his way to the, right before he fought Joe Soto. We trained a little bit together, and he's got good submission defense. He's hard to catch. He's good at keeping his elbows in tight. Good at balling up, and obviously very strong for this weight class.
Outside trip by Galvão.
Man, I'm really impressed with Galvão's wrestling. Each time Joe Warren has tried to take him down, it's Galvão who's ended up on top.
TNA Impact Wrestling featuring Hulk Hogan, Kurt Angle, and Ric Flair. It's the best professional wrestling show on television every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Spike.
I think Warren's a little surprised here. He thought he could get in and clinch and have an easy takedown. That has not been the case. Galvão moving, not even breathing hard, very relaxed. Question might be, who has the striking edge? Good right hand by Warren.
Warren has worked extensively on his striking, his boxing, his Muay Thai. Just went for a side headlock.
Finally in on the waist.
That's a bit of Greco-Roman right there.
But Galvão doing a good job getting his back on the fence. He wasn't going to give up that suplex a la Georgi Karahanian.
Good elbow strike there by Warren. Galvão, though, looking really, really good here in this opening round.
Look at his pummel, getting his arms inside against a Greco-Roman world champion. That is not easy to do, and he has done it.
Galvão just missed with that right hand.
His striking has not looked very sharp, though.
Warren found his way through with that right hand.
Warren's done a good job of backing Galvão up with that right hand.
Knee from Galvão after the knee from Warren. And the fighters continuing to trade knees.
I think it might benefit Warren to just stay out and box a little bit. His hands have improved. He's been a little bit more accurate. He's having a lot of trouble taking Galvão down, and every time he's tried, Galvã's ended up on top, but he's landing that right hand effectively.
Warren looking for a slam, and he gets it. The takedown from Joe Warren.
Stop there, guys.
You will see Rich Hale next Saturday night, Bellator 42, right here on MTV2. Our start time 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Round number 2 of this Bellator super fight at the catchweight of 100.
Oh, big knees! Man, rocked him again! 2 flying knees in a row. I don't know if I have ever seen that.
Jimmy, on your scorecard.
And I gave the first 9, 10-9. Very, very close first round to Galvão. He ended up on top, did a little more damage on the ground. Warren started finding his range at the end of the round, but I think Galvão took that first round, but very close, could go either way.
Marcos Galvão, 2-time WEC veteran, and his Bellator debut was in the white trunks. And Joe Warren, Bellator's reigning 145-pound world champion, is in the black trunks.
Man, another beautiful uppercut by Galvão. He's really catching Warren coming in.
Remember, Warren told us live on air, Jimmy, that he will enter Bellator's Season 5 135-pound tournament set to begin in September. Now, in Greco-Roman wrestling, he's at 60 kilograms. That's 132 pounds. He walks at 145 to 150, so that's why he's at 137. He's testing out in the 130s.
I think he may have underestimated the strength of Galvão. He kept saying, oh, I'm going to push guys around at this weight class. But, man, he's not having his way with Galvão. Galvão is showing great takedown defense, and then 2 big knees and an uppercut. Warren is finding out this weight class is not a joke, not an easy fight for him.
Warren trying to come forward. He's taken a lot of damage, but he's still coming forward as Joe Warren.
And dude has a granite chin. We saw that against Soto. Saw it against Pitbull. You just cannot lay this guy out. You can't keep him from coming forward.
Straight left by Galvão, another one.
Man, Galvão having a lot of success with the stand-up in this round. Another big knee.
On the point of Joe Warren's chin.
Man, usually can't take one of these. He's taken 3 in a row. But you don't ever want to be known for your ability to take punishment. Don't win a fight by taking punishment, Sean.
I think Joe Warren is simply incapable of being in a boring fight, whether it's going his way or going his opponent's way.
And he keeps moving forward. But I like the message those knees and uppercuts are sending. It says, hey, if you drop your head, I'm going to make you pay. Because Warren isn't doing that well with the body lock. He's not having his way with the clinch. And his double leg, Galvão is telling him, if you drop your level and try and go in for that double leg, I'm going to get you on the way in. Man, great job wrestling by Galvão. Good right hand.
Galvão told us through his Portuguese translator, he felt that Joe Warren talks too much, that he should be more humble and more respectful. We've heard that before from Joe Warren's
yeah,
opponents.
I think we've heard that about 10 times so far.
Joe Warren told us, Jimmy, quote, I'm going to tell the truth even if you don't want to hear it.
He's one of those guys, you gotta respect him. He talks the talk, but he walks the walk. He goes in there and puts 100% into every fight. Oh, man, ending up on top once again is Galvão. Can't keep Warren there.
Galvão has shown incredible balance in this fight thus far, Jimmy.
But Galvão ending up on top every time. Warren is just not able to get his takedown going.
Bouncing the step of Joe Warren, the champion. Facing a tremendous opponent, Marcos Galvão.
Another big knee.
Galvão just getting off with those knees time and time again. Clipping overhand right by Warren.
I'm looking over right now at a very interested Zach Makovsky. He is watching this fight. He's got to wonder, hey, how am I going to match up against Joe Warren?
Makovsky sitting next to Chad Robichaux.
Both these guys are sitting together watching this fight. Oh, another big knee!
That's a huge knee, the biggest of this fight. Warren comes back swinging.
Going in for the waist cinch. I like what Galvão does. He goes against the cage during the waist cinch, but this time he's in the center and he gets taken down.
There's the takedown from Joe Warren.
But Galvão right back to guard.
Bit of a stalemate at the moment. Call for action from referee Jason Herzog. How outstanding that Makovsky and Robichaux are sitting next to each other, just next to our commentary position.
Well, two of the nicest guys to ever beat the crap out of each other, Zach Makovsky and Chad Robichaux.
We're attacking here.
Warren just not able to do a lot with this position. I think he's worried about the guard. Doesn't want to get in that close against Galvão.
Warren trying to stay tenacious from this top position, but you see it's the Brazilian Marcos Galvão continuing to throw from flat on his back.
Look at these beautiful knees by Marcos Galvão right on the chin of Joe Warren. That's the first one. And here, number two, bang, once again, right on the jaw. Those are devastating knees.
Now into our third and final round of this Bellator Super Fight at the catchweight of 137 pounds. Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard.
I gave the last round to Marcos Galvão, 10-9. I think he's up 2 rounds to none. I just turned over to Zach Makovsky and Chad Robichaux. They both agree with me. It's 2 rounds to none.
Straight right hand by Joe Warren. Marcos Galvão, the Brazilian in his Bellator debut, was in the white trunks. Joe Warren, Bellator's reigning 145-pound world champion. His first fight since winning the title, but again, he has dropped down to this catchweight of 137 pounds. He is in the black trunks. Apologies, by the way, for my voice. The desert air is not doing good things. I sound like a poor man's Harry Callis.
You're doing okay, though. I'm proud of you.
A very poor man's Harry Callis.
Not as bad as me in Kansas City last year, so we each get a bad one. Now finally the takedown by Joe Warren. And Galvão pops right back up. Galvão holds him down, trying to isolate the arm. Now in triangle position, he has to get that left leg free.
Warren, you see, sitting on both knees.
You hear his corner saying, stand up, Joe.
Warren trying to pass to side control.
Man, great job by Galvão, popping back to his feet. Very tricky guard by the Brazilian. Now you hear his corner yelling something I never thought you'd hear. They're saying, no takedown, Joe. I think they know he's behind. He's doing better with the striking than with the wrestling.
Warren, that was inadvertent, but he just threw Galvão's forehead right into the Bellator cage fence. There's the takedown from Joe Warren, not listening to his corner. Open guard held by Galvão.
Now both the first rounds, especially round number 1, very close, very competitive. The second round, I thought Galvão was clearly the victor, but you know, what does Joe Warren think? What does his corner think? That's an important question.
Galvão did not seem intimidated, didn't really seem that impressed by Joe Warren, and he did not let Warren get into his head. Clearly, that's the case.
It also helps when you don't speak any English. He had no idea what Joe Warren is saying to him. That's got to help. Joe Warren prides himself on his ability to get inside his opponent's head. It did not happen this time. Galvão, foot on the hips, pushing Joe Warren away, keeping really Joe Warren's weight off of him, destabilizing him, just like that. See him lift him into the air. Hard to get off on your punches when you don't have your hips underneath you.
Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard, you have Galvão up 2 rounds to none, 2018. Now keep in mind, no reigning Bellator world champion has ever lost a Bellator non-title super fight. Not giving the victory to Galvão yet by any means. We know that Warren can finish out of nowhere. Warren letting go with the right hands.
And this is another thing that he's not used to, is having elbows be legal. It's a super fight. He can throw elbows.
Look at the up elbows there by Galvão. Now the Brazilian closes guard on the champion, Joe Warren. Right hands by Warren. Up elbows again by Galvão. Galvão is throwing a lot of elbows from flat on his back, and they are landing flush.
See him putting a lot of shoulder pressure on. Galvão has been held down this entire round. He's certainly winning this round, but can Warren do enough in this round to come back in this fight? That's the question. I have him up 2-0, but who knows if the judges agree. I don't know exactly what my record is. If you added them all up, how often the judges agree with me. Well, at least Zach Makovsky agrees with me. I feel better about my round calls.
Zach Makovsky, Chad Robichaux sitting just next to our commentary position. Former opponents, now friends sitting next to each other, both had the scorecard, the unofficial scorecard, the same as you did.
But Warren certainly working, certainly taking this round. Galvão is up against the fence, no room to move, no room to use that tricky guard.
Makovsky, an interested participant, or rather spectator, because he could be a participant. Joe Warren says he wants to fight in Bellator Season 5 135-pound tournament. That, of course, would lead to a title fight versus the reigning Bellator 135-pound world champion, Zach Makovsky.
Well, the question is, in that first round, I thought Galvão was dominant in the second round, or certainly the victor. Warren has been dominant in this round. It's all about how the judges see that first very close round.
Warren trying to finish with a flurry, letting go with the elbows. Galvão closes guard. The bell, the end of the fight. When we return to Bellator 41, we will learn the winner of this bout. It'll either be Marcos Galvão or Joe Warren. Marcos Galvão versus the champion Joe Warren has gone the distance all 3 rounds. Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard.
28-29 Marcos Galvão, but it's that first round it's going to hinge on.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. Judge Chuck Wolf scores the fight 30-27, while judges Henry Gary and Brooks Mason both see the fight 29-28, all for the winner by unanimous decision. He is the reigning Bellator featherweight world champion, Joe Warren.
Joe Warren, the victor by way of unanimous decision, now 7-1 in his pro MMA career. He's with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Joe Warren. Joe, very tough fight against Marcos Galvão. He brought it all tonight.
Yes, very great fighter. Had a bad night, but I pulled the win out, so I'm happy with that. Thank you for all you viewers out there, MTV2. I appreciate it.
The winner by way of unanimous decision, the champion Joe Warren defeats Marcos Galvão.